Hello, Foxplorers, or Salam Alaikum as they say in Egypt. It's time for another week of adventure. It's me, your camp counselor Brienne, and today we are going to talk all about Egypt. It's another week of exploring and another week of learning. Let's get started. Over 83 million people currently live in Egypt. The capital city of Egypt is Cairo. Other major cities include Alexandria and Giza. Egypt is bordered by the Gaza Strip, Israel, Libya, and Sudan, as well as the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. The Sinai Peninsula in Egypt spans across two continents, Africa and Asia. We learned about peninsulas before. Do you remember what it is? That's right! A peninsula is an area of land that is surrounded by water on three sides. One of these bodies of water is called the Red Sea. I know what you're thinking, Foxplorers. Is the Red Sea red? Well, it's not technically red, but there is a type of algae that grows there that sometimes gives it a rusty brown tint, and that is why it is called the Red Sea. The Suez Canal is a very important waterway that was built in the Red Sea. It is 120 miles long through a narrow piece of land called the Isthmus of Suez. The Mediterranean Sea is at the northern end. Before the Suez Canal was built, ships sailing between the Mediterranean Sea and the Indian Ocean had to sail all the way around the southern tip of Africa. The canal allows ships to pass directly between the Mediterranean Sea and the Indian Ocean, saving thousands of miles for sailors. Many animals live in Egypt today, including cobras, crocodiles, camels, gazelles, hyenas, and cheetahs. The best places to see Egypt's wildlife are in its more than 20 protected regions, which include oases, deserts, mountains, coastal areas, river islands, and wetlands. Did you know that the national bird of Egypt is the steppe eagle? The majestic steppe eagle is also the national animal of Egypt. Egypt has some pretty awesome flowers too, including their national flower, the Egyptian lotus flower, also referred to as the water lily. These lilies come in blue and white. The Egyptian lotus flower has been celebrated for over 4,000 years. Some even say that Egypt was the first country to have a national flower. In ancient Egypt, the lotus represented rebirth, inspired by the lotus's petals that open when the sun is shining and close during the night. The Nile River in Egypt is the longest river in the world. It is over 4,000 miles long, which is even longer than the entire distance across the United States. Without the Nile, all of Egypt would be a desert. Only about 1 inch of rain falls throughout Egypt each year, but each summer the river rises because of the rains at the source of the river. Floods cover the river's valleys, leaving nutrients needed for the trees, plants, and crops to grow. Because of the importance of the Nile, almost the entire population of Egypt lives somewhere along the riverbanks or surrounding cities. The harsh desert climate of the rest of the country makes it tricky to live there. Egypt is a very dry country. The Sahara and Libyan Desert make up most of the area of Egypt. The Sahara Desert is the largest hot desert on Earth, covering 11 total countries in North Africa, including Egypt. Notice how I said hot desert, Foxplorers? That's because the largest desert on Earth is technically Antarctica. It's definitely a different type of place than the Sahara, or what we picture when we think of a desert, but technically it's considered a desert because it meets the minimum rainfall amount. Isn't that crazy? There are some places in the Sahara Desert that have more than 4,000 hours of sunshine per year, making it one of the sunniest regions around the world. Make sure to pack your sunglasses and sunscreen, Foxplorers. A lot of Egyptian people speak Arabic, but many also learn and speak English and French as a foreign language. Much like we study foreign languages here in the United States, so do they. Today's word of the day is archaeologist. Do you know what an archaeologist is? An archaeologist is someone who studies the lives and cultures of ancient people. One of the most famous civilizations studied by archaeologists is the ancient Egyptians, who date back to 3150 BC. That's a long time ago. This makes Egypt one of the coolest places to be an archaeologist, Foxplorers, because there is no shortage of really old ancient sites to dig up and explore. One of these sites is the Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. The Pyramid of Khufu at Giza is the largest Egyptian pyramid. This incredible structure weighs as much as 16 Empire State Buildings. The pyramid is 481 feet tall. This means the tallest pyramid is almost as tall as the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. Over 130 pyramids have been found all over Egypt. Another iconic structure in Egypt that is still standing is the famous Great Sphinx of Giza. Do you know what a sphinx is? A sphinx is an ancient mythical creature which has the body of a lion and the head of a person, like you and me. How cool is that? Over the past 4,500 years, weather and time have taken their toll on the Great Sphinx, as you can tell by its poor missing nose. But it is really amazing that so much of it is left for us to see. The original Sphinx would have looked a little different. Archaeologists say that it was once painted in bright colors. Picture the face and body painted red, the beard blue, and a yellow headdress. Can you imagine it? Learning about ancient Egyptians is pretty fun, hey, Foxplorers. Are any of you thinking about being an archaeologist when you grow up? I think that would be really cool. Do you want to learn more? We are going to dig, like an archaeologist, even deeper into ancient Egypt next time. But for now, it's time for our virtual scavenger hunt in Egypt. Find the Great Pyramid or the Sphinx. As always, we have 5 things for you to find. Click on the link in the post so you can complete your scavenger hunt. I know you all can do it. Do you have any questions about Egypt? Feel free to ask them in the comments below, and us camp counselors will be here to answer all your questions. And once again, be sure to join us on Thursday so we can learn even more about Egypt and hieroglyphics. All right, well, we'll see you later, Foxplorers. Bye.
Adventures, boxing games is what you